Just like the other actor everyone forgot about, Jack Moon, it was a Monday like any other when he found himself covered in fake blood on a set in Liverpool, England. Well, not just any fake blood, a truly spectacular amount of it. It was dripping down his face, pooling in his hair, and probably soaking into his vintage 19th century suit. But the thing was, it wasn't even his blood. Jack didn't even know how this scene was supposed to work. He was pretty sure his character wasn't supposed to be bleeding, but the costume designer assured him, "Trust me, Jack, it'll look epic." And so, there he stood, trying his hardest not to slip in his own fake blood puddle while everyone around him bustled about, adjusting cameras, slapping on last-minute makeup, and discussing whether or not the wig had enough bounce. Yes, Jack Moon, actor, reluctant historical drama star, and now apparently a victim of something far worse than a bloody head. He was going to have to endure the most ridiculous transformation of his life. Oh, Jack wasn't always the period drama guy. He was more of what many might describe as a hard man, with all his heroic stares and his propensity to floor villains in most dramatic of slow-motion sequences. But here was he, on location of a new show House of Malty, a period drama based on the fictional story of a brewing family. And just like that, the worst part of any male-to-female transformation happened: the wardrobe change. His costume designer was a spunky woman named Tilly, and she wanted to make sure Jack would become one of the strong-willed women of history. And that meant Jack was about to undergo one of the most extreme character makeovers of his life. On camera, he wasn't just going to look like a woman. Oh no, Tilly wanted to make sure he felt like one too. "All right, Jack, it was time to try this on," she declared, handing him a corset and a completely ridiculous Victorian dress. Jack froze. "Hold on a second, are we really sure about this? I thought my character was supposed to be, a tough businessman, like a male version of someone." "Exactly," Tilly grinned. "You're the powerful woman of the house now, remember? I assure you, Jack, you will love it. The corset's going to cinch your waist like a dream, and will get you into character so much that you'll forget you're even a guy." Jack could not help but mumble, "Oh, I am sure it will be unforgettable." Within the half an hour, he was not only struggling into a gown so tight that he wondered if he should ever be able to breathe again, but he had also had to endure the agonies of a corset. There was still bright red fake blood running down his face, and his hair piled high on his head in the style of the 1800s seemed to be rebelling against gravity. But the most baffling part? The wig. An evil red thing that could have been a Victorian doll, or as Jack described it, a fire risk. Caked in makeup and looking as if they had applied foundation that could probably be used to fill potholes, Jack looked at himself in the mirror in disbelief. "I look like my grandmother's old rug," he said. Tilly, who was, apparently, unaware of his profound identity crisis, clapped her hands. "You look stunning! Now let's get you on set. It's time to shoot the scene when we capture the whole Malty brewery single-handedly and with the help of an incredibly big fan only." He was beginning to get the pressure of assuming a new character when he met his fellow actress, and also the beautiful and also the bloodthirsty Emily Finch. She was fully dressed in an elegant gown with flowing hair in all the correct directions, as one would expect. Jack struggled a little to manage the Victorian formalities of his dress, and Emily looked at him curiously. "Jack, is that you?" Emily asked, squinting at him. "Who else would it be?" he replied, attempting to do a quick twirl, which ended in a very awkward stumble. The crew began to gather around. The director, a man with fondness of pauses in shots, took a deep breath. "Perfect, Jack. Now give us your most empowered, let's take over the world face. Like the one you give when you win an argument with your Wi-Fi." Jack nodded. Empowered. He could do empowered. But when he attempted to demonstrate strength, the tight corset made it almost impossible for him to breathe, and the wig was almost falling off his head with each movement. However, he decided to give his best shot and glared at the lens of the camera with all the anger. If he was going down, he was going to go down with style. "Cut!" the director yelled. "Jack, that was incredible. It's just maybe less, struggling for breath next time, huh? And that's how Jack Moon ended up on the set. Not just as a representative of a certain historical period, but as a man who wakes up in the hilarious version of historical fashion show imaginable. He wasn't just acting anymore. No, Jack was now completely in character, especially after a series of incidents in which he tripped over his gown, fell into a barrel of fake beer, and, yes, nearly brought down a chandelier during a scene. By the end of the day, Jack Moon had earned a new title, Queen of the Set, which, to be fair, wasn't entirely undeserved, because in the world of House of Malty, every moment was literally comedy. And Jack? Well, he might have started as the tough guy, but by the time the show wrapped filming, he was a little too accustomed to his corset and way too familiar with the term damsel in distress. And the wig? It was still a fire hazard. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe.